Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about the properties panel, which is on the far right side in our default view. So again, as I just mentioned, we're in a default view, and over here, you should have this right panel. And this right panel becomes active whenever there's a container active within our scene tree here. So I just drag a geometry object into the scene tree here, and we have a container highlighted. So now that with this container is highlighted, if I come over into the properties panel on the right hand side here, we have a column here with a couple of options. So first we have an eyeball, we have a little lock panel, a transformation editor, and the icon for that geometry. First I'm going to click on the icon for the geometry, and that will reveal the actual settings for this cogwheel. So we have different variables here for this cogwheel that we could adjust within this properties tab. And if we come up here to the transformation editor, it reveals a whole other properties panel here. So this transformation properties shows us things like position and rotation. So I can rotate our object here. We also have scale, and we have an axis center point down here, which we can adjust as well. Screen transformation and container info that it will show you as well. Above that, we have an eyeball, which will turn it on or off. And we have a lock button, which will actually lock it on the screen here. So if we come over here and try to click and drag this, it will no longer allow us to do that. So depending on what you have highlighted within your scene tree, your properties tab could be different. So for instance, we have a cube in here now and a cogwheel. If I click on the cube, it will give us different properties than the cogwheel has. However, on the containers, there are both transformation editors and eyeballs and a lock screen. So that means we can hide or lock any one of these, and we can use the transformation editor the same in each container. They will contain the same parameters for each. Now also, whenever you drag a function onto your container, you can also access the properties in there as well. So for instance, if I drag an extrusion onto this geometry and click on the extrusion, we can go into the extrusion properties, and again, it has all different properties for that particular function. Now you'll notice in this column, when we do have a container active, that there are two little dots next to each icon. This simply means if you turn it off, it's no longer going to be active. So we turn the cogwheel off and it's no longer active in the scene. So if you want it to be active, you just make sure that little icon next to the geometry icon is active.